In our first Crazy Fads video, we had some pretty amazing college campus fads. Here's a few more fads that grabbed the public imagination.
Let's dig into this.
It started as a gimmick in 1924 to publicize a Hollywood movie. In front of the theater, former sailor Alvin "Shipwreck" Kelly, who was starting a career as a stuntman, was hired to sit on top of a flagpole for as long as he could. Ouch! He lasted 13 hours and 13 minutes and attracted huge crowds and lots of reporters.
Kelly was instantly a hit and hired by other businesses to promote their products while trying to break his own record. In 1927, he was up to 8 days on a pole, but others had decided to get in on his act and his fame. Bobby Mack, a Los Angeles woman, beat Kelly by sitting on a pole for 21 days. Kelly was not about to lose his record and went 49 days with a crowd of over 20,000 watching him, and the flagpole sitting became the thing to do.
Soon folks started building platforms and shelters and even makeshift bathrooms on top of poles to break records, which kind of defeated the purpose. The fad never really disappeared, with records set in the 1950s and 60s. The current record for flagpole sitting is 439 days, 11 hours, and 6 minutes, set in 1984.
On September 15th of 1896, over 40,000 people traveled 15 miles north of Waco, Texas, and paid good money to watch two train locomotives crash into each other while going at about 50 miles an hour. When they did, the boilers exploded and shrapnel flew everywhere. At least 2 people died, one man lost an eye to a flying bolt, and numerous others were injured. The rest of the crowd paid little notice as they swarmed over the trains looking for souvenirs. The event was called the Crash at Crush, and despite the carnage, it started the crazy fad of train wrecking.
From 1895 until the 1930s, train wrecking was a huge draw at fairs and festivals across the U.S. Organizers would lay track and get 2 old locomotives and place them at the ends facing each other and sell tickets. 2 brave engineers would run them towards each other, jumping off at the last moment just before impact.
Joe Connolly, known as Head On Joe, organized over 70 train wreck events and destroyed at least 146 locomotives between 1896 and 1932. He would have dynamite strapped to the front or add gasoline-filled freight cars to make the explosions bigger and more dangerous. But like all fads, this one petered out. The last stage public train wrecking event was held in 1935.
On March 4, 1928, 199 runners left the Legion Ascot Speedway in Los Angeles, California, in the first international transcontinental foot race. They would run 3,423.5 miles, mostly on the new Route 66, which was promoted as the Main Street of America at the time. The race went on for 84 days, with folks crowding around their radios every evening to hear special reports on the day's run. Only 55 runners would finish the grueling race, nicknamed the Bunyan Derby.
Andy Payne from Oklahoma won in 573 hours, 4 minutes, and 34 seconds, and took home the grand prize of $25,000. He paid off the mortgage on his family's farm and built his parents a new house before buying himself a new car with his winnings. Beauty pageants have arguably been around for a couple hundred years, but in the US they really started in the mid-1800s, and their popularity exploded in the 1920s with contests arranged to choose a pretty girl to promote goods, businesses, or events. From Lemon Queens to Miss Frankfurter, everyone was having pageants.
They didn't become a mainstream fad until 1921, when the first Miss America pageant made the whole thing respectable, for a few decades at least. As time went on, more and more pageants sprung up, from Miss World to Miss Universe, and competitor contests like Miss USA went head-to-head with Miss America.
The pageants expanded from judging beauty and poise to asking questions to show contestants' intelligence, resulting in a few hilarious answers, including the Miss Teen USA 2007 contestants' response to why 1/5 of Americans can't locate the US on a map with a convoluted series of ums, uhs, and such as.
This PR disaster, coming after numerous dethronements and resignations due to contestants' past activities coming to light, at a time when women were voicing their objections to being judged for their looks, helped end many of the beauty pageants in the U.S.
Way back in the 1970s, a guy named Gary Dahl was listening to friends talk about their pets, and he came up with one of the funniest and fastest fads on our list.
The pet rock came out in the fall of 1975, sold in its own cardboard carrier box with straw bedding, now it's paper, and ventilation holes for your new friend. The included 30-page manual provided care, feeding, and training instructions as well. The media went crazy for the fuss-free pet, and Dahl was everywhere, from newspaper and magazine articles to The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
And everyone was buying their own pet rock, priced at just under $4. It was the thing to give at Christmas 1975, and between 1.3 and 1.5 million were sold in the 6-month lifespan of the pet rock craze, making Dahl a millionaire. And then they disappeared.
Another fad that appeared quickly and was seen everywhere was the hacky sack. But this fad was a bit different. It's still popular in some places today. Invented in 1972 by 2 men in Oregon, the hacky sack was usually a crocheted or woven ball filled with plastic pellets or sand. The inventors sold their creation to Wham-O in 1983, and they're still sold today.
In the 1980s, you could see people hacky sacking just about everywhere. It became so popular that moves were created and named, and different games and competitions were invented. The most common forms of hacky sack were freestyle, with tricks being performed, and the circle kick, where people formed a circle and passed the ball between each other, seeing how long they could keep it from touching the ground.
Also known as footbag today, there are tournaments and competitions held around the world.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey, here's another DragonDen video you might like.
And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button.
And you can hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when our videos come out.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.